Welcome back to PsychVault X, and I need you to stop scrolling right now, because what I am about to reveal to you in the next few minutes will completely change the way you understand power, presence, and the invisible force that separates those who command respect from those who beg for it. Before you think this is just another self-help video filled with empty platitudes and feel-good nonsense, let me be crystal clear with you. This is about raw psychological mechanisms that are operating in your life right now, whether you are aware of them or not. This is about understanding why some people walk into a room and instantly everyone pays attention, why some individuals never have to raise their voice yet everyone listens, and why certain people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, respect, and success, while others with equal or even greater talent struggle in obscurity and frustration. If you have ever felt invisible in social situations, if you have ever watched someone less qualified than you get the promotion you deserved, if you have ever wondered why your words do not carry weight even when you know you are right, then what I am about to share with you is going to be absolutely life-changing. This is not about faking confidence or pretending to be someone you are not. This is about understanding the deep psychological science behind genuine power and learning how to build it systematically from the ground up. Imagine for just a moment someone who does not speak loudly, someone who does not force their presence into every conversation, someone who does not try desperately to impress others with stories or accomplishments, and yet this person completely dominates any environment they step into. Not because they are seeking attention or validation, not because they are putting on a performance, but because they carry within them a silent certainty, an unshakable conviction that few people understand and many people secretly fear. This individual does not seem to need to prove anything to anyone. They simply exist, they simply are, and somehow that is enough to completely alter the dynamics of every interaction around them. People like this do not have to ask for space or fight for their place in the hierarchy. The space automatically adjusts itself to accommodate their presence. Eyes naturally follow them across the room. Voices instinctively hesitate before challenging them. Competitors quietly retreat without even understanding why they are backing down. What exactly is happening here? What is this invisible force that creates such powerful effects? The answer is far removed from the tired cliches about self-esteem or the superficial self-love mantras that get sold in countless books and seminars. Science has a very specific name for this phenomenon, and that name is self-efficacy. This term was coined and thoroughly researched by psychologist Albert Bandura, who is widely recognized as one of the most respected and influential names in 20th century psychology. His thesis is elegantly simple, yet deeply uncomfortable for modern mainstream thinking about confidence and success. Real confidence, genuine power, authentic presence, these things are not vague feelings of well-being with oneself or positive affirmations repeated in the mirror every morning. True confidence is a deep, almost unshakable belief that you are capable of doing whatever needs to be done in any situation that life presents to you. And this belief, when it becomes fully internalized and embodied, literally transforms the way the world responds to your existence. What Bandura revealed through decades of rigorous psychological research is something that many people prefer to ignore or dismiss because it challenges their comfortable assumptions about how life works. Confidence is not an emotional luxury or a nice-to-have personality trait. It is a fundamental mechanism of power that operates at the deepest levels of human social interaction. It profoundly alters the opportunities that arise in your path, the outcomes you consistently reap from your efforts, and most importantly, the way other people perceive you and treat you in every interaction. People with high self-efficacy are perceived unconsciously and automatically by others as figures of natural authority.
Even when they do not say a single word, even when they are just standing quietly in a corner, they command respect not through imposition or aggression, but through the pure force of their internal conviction. They do not need to threaten anyone or show off their accomplishments. Their simple internal certainty creates an atmosphere around them, an invisible field that others pick up on instinctively without consciously understanding what they are responding to. And this unconscious perception changes absolutely everything about how social dynamics unfold. In social interactions and gatherings, confident people do not shrink away from attention or apologize for their existence. They occupy space naturally and comfortably, as if they have every right to be exactly where they are. In business negotiations, they do not convey any sense of desperation or neediness. And because of that composed energy, they consistently achieve better outcomes and more favorable terms. In romantic relationships, they do not tolerate disrespect or poor treatment. And because they set firm boundaries, they naturally attract higher-value partners who recognize and respect their worth. In professional environments and corporate settings, they act as if they already belong one level above their current position. And because they carry that energy, they get promoted faster than their peers. This silent yet incredibly dense confidence is perceived by others as a kind of psychological gravitational field. And just like any intense gravitational field in physics, it attracts some people powerfully, repels others instinctively, and intimidates many who cannot understand or match its intensity. In this video, we are going to explore in depth what exactly this invisible force is that Bandura identified and named self-efficacy. We are going to understand precisely why it provokes such intense and extreme reactions in others, how it is built and reinforced at a neurological level within your brain, and why genuinely confident people seem to get incredibly lucky in life, while others appear perpetually trapped in cycles of failure despite having equal or even superior talent and intelligence. And above all, we are going to uncover the specific practical steps for how you can systematically build this confidence that does not need to shout or perform because it is already heard and felt before you even open your mouth to speak. This is absolutely not a video about fake it till you make it or superficial tricks and tactics. This is a deep dive into the real psychology of presence, conviction, and the silent power that arises naturally when you finally stop doubting yourself and start operating at a level where most people have never dared to tread. Albert Bandura not only completely redefined how psychology understands confidence and human potential, he systematically shattered one of the most dangerous and limiting illusions that society desperately insists on maintaining. The comforting idea that success depends solely on inborn talent, random luck, or natural charisma. What he revealed through careful research was something much more uncomfortable for people to accept, yet infinitely more powerful for those who embrace it. Success, influence, respect, and leadership, all of these coveted outcomes revolve around something that is completely invisible yet profoundly real and measurable. The deeply held belief that you are capable of acting effectively and competently in the face of whatever challenges life throws at you. This belief has a specific scientific name: self-efficacy. Unlike common self-esteem, which primarily revolves around feeling good about yourself and having warm, fuzzy feelings, self-efficacy is fundamentally about doing and achieving. It is about believing firmly and unwaveringly that you possess the necessary ability to handle whatever situation lies ahead of you. And this belief does not only affect how you feel emotionally, it dramatically changes what actions you take, what results you achieve, and how the entire world responds to your presence. Bandura demonstrated through extensive experimental research that this internal conviction is the single most decisive psychological factor that separates those who continuously advance in life from those who remain perpetually stagnant. And this critical difference begins at the deepest possible level, The way you perceive your own ability directly determines your behavior in every situation. Those who genuinely believe they are capable act more decisively without hesitation. They try new things more often without fear of judgment. They persist much longer in the face of difficulties and setbacks, and consequently, they achieve significantly more tangible results. These accumulated results then reinforce their original belief in themselves, and thus the upward cycle of true self-confidence is born and begins accelerating. It is what Bandura called the self-efficacy reinforcement cycle. Strong belief leads to bold action, which produces positive results, which reinforces the original belief, which leads to even bolder action, which generates even greater results. This cycle becomes a field of exponential growth and expansion. The more you believe in yourself, the more you achieve. And the more you achieve, the more evidence you accumulate, which makes you believe even more strongly. But what almost nobody realizes or talks about is that there exists the opposite side of this powerful mechanism, and it is equally strong but works in the opposite direction. This is the failure cycle, the downward spiral of defeat. People with low self-efficacy try fewer new things because they expect to fail. They give up much faster when faced with any obstacle. They fail more often because they are not persisting long enough. And they unconsciously use each defeat as confirmation and proof that they really are not good enough. And this negative cycle traps them in an ever-tightening prison of limitations. The most brutal and heartbreaking part of it all is this undeniable truth. The difference between these two completely opposite destinies is not primarily talent or intelligence. It is belief. It is the story you tell yourself about your capabilities. Bandura showed conclusively that self-efficacy can absolutely be developed through specific methods. It is not some mystical gift that you are either born with or without, but rather a systematic construction that anyone can undertake. And when this construction reaches a critical mass, when the evidence becomes overwhelming, something changes profoundly at your core. You stop doubting yourself constantly. You stop asking for permission from others to pursue your goals. You stop needing external validation to feel worthy. Your body language changes dramatically. Your tone of voice becomes deeper and more commanding. Your way of walking becomes more purposeful and grounded. Your entire nervous system begins to operate on a completely different level. And the people around you feel this shift, even if they cannot consciously explain what has changed. And that is precisely where the discomfort and intimidation comes in for others. Because most people in society live completely immersed in constant doubt, crippling insecurity, and exhausting comparison with others. When someone appears in their environment and breaks this familiar pattern with a solid, clear, and unwavering presence, the impact is almost visceral and physical. This confident person does not need to speak loudly or impose themselves aggressively. They simply exist authentically, and that alone is enough to create waves. Others feel deeply destabilized, not because they are facing arrogance or aggression, but because they are suddenly in the presence of someone who believes in themselves in a way they have never believed in their own capabilities. This is the true root of the confidence that intimidates and unsettles others. It is not performative or fake. It does not need applause or recognition. It naturally emanates from the certainty built from accumulated internal evidence. Have you ever noticed how certain rare individuals enter a room and automatically everyone pays attention without any effort on their part? They do not need to raise their voice or compete for airtime. They do not dress in flashy, attention-seeking clothes or make exaggerated efforts to be noticed. They simply exist with such intensity and presence that the environment literally changes around them. This almost magnetic presence is not luck or some mysterious inborn gift. It is the direct result of deeply internalized self-efficacy, the kind of unshakable confidence that Albert Bandura described, the type that is built on real evidence and actual accomplishments, not on illusions or positive thinking alone.
Thank you so much for staying with me through this deep exploration of psychological power, my dear friends. If you found this video valuable, enlightening, or mind-opening in any way, please do me a huge favor right now and smash that like button because it helps push this content to more people who desperately need to understand these principles. And if you have not already subscribed to PsychVault X, please hit that subscribe button immediately and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell icon so you never miss another video where we dive deep into the psychology of power, influence, confidence, and human behavior. Share this video with your friends, your family members, anyone you know who is struggling with self-doubt or who wants to understand the real science behind presence and confidence.
Together, we can build a community of people who understand these principles and use them to transform their lives. Thank you for being part of this journey. Stay powerful, stay curious, and I will see you in the next video where we continue exploring the hidden mechanisms of human psychology.